Hello. I am trying to make sure that I hope everyone can hear me. I Oh, I don't know what just happened. Hi, everyone. I'm Corey here, coming in to do a live, and not a very long live. I'm in between. I'm in between clients here, so I just wanted to stop in, but I wanted to make sure that I actually have sound. So I'm hoping someone can let me know if I actually have sound or not. If you can actually hear me, because I don't know. I think so. Um, it looks like I have sound. So I'm just bringing up on my phone here so I can also. So if you are joining in on Facebook or on YouTube, if you can let me know if I actually have sound, that would be great. Or else I'm talking to the air. Um, and I am just in between. Uh, I'm just in between recording and clients, and I have two computer screens up and going. Um, but I just wanted to stop in for a little bit. I'm having a lot of a lot of conversations today in a lot of places, and I got a lot of things happening. And a lot of those conversations are the conversations that I have in channeling and talking to the divine and talking to the energy out there. And there's just a lot that's going on. You can hear me? Okay, perfect, Sherry. Thank you. And I can see that I am on Facebook and I am on YouTube. So, hello. Hi, everyone who's coming in. Hello, Carlene. Oh my God, Carlene. It's funny that you should show up here right now. Um, I had, I was just doing some of my prayers, and I put you in my prayers for your surgery for tomorrow. And I don't know. A lot of conversations today. In a lot of That's my phone. So I'm trying to bring up on my phone as well so I can see. Watching on your drive home from Victoria. Ah, well, I am so happy that you're watching on your drive home. I can drive home with you. Um, and so yeah, just imagine I'm in the vehicle with you. Yippee and yappy, Lisa, in the vehicle together. Tony would just be so excited. uh, okay, so um, hello. I'm just watching the people come in here a little bit and fill up the room. There is so much happening, so much going on right now, so much energy. It's so kind of all over the place. You may be feeling it. I did release another energy update today, and I literally released one on Monday. So this is like the second one in 1 week, and it kind of finishes out the rest of the month. But I just felt such a call to record another message. So there is another YouTube message that just went out. So there's two. I would go listen to the 20th and then listen to this new one because they both coincide, they tie together, they're an extension of each other. They're to finish out July, to finish out January. And so, yeah, those both of those messages are available on YouTube, so go check those out. I did put out a reel today. It's been a while since I've done a reel, and I'm feeling a little bit like I'm ready to kind of step back into some of that work. I've got a little bit of energy to do that right now, and also, while we're just waiting for the room to fill up, the 2025 forecast readings are not individual, like for each zodiac sign, they are not on YouTube. The yearly for the whole year for all signs, that one is, but for each zodiac sign, they're actually in our academy. So if you go to the mteacademy.ca and you sign up in there, you can actually purchase the forecast reading for each zodiac sign as they become fully available. So some are still being filled up with all of the information. We're working on them as we're going because we didn't just put in the forecast reading for the year. We have jam packed it full of so much information for you. So Lisa has included all of the gates through human design, gene keys, like the combination of her messages, and then also my messages, and then the archetypes and the vices and the virtues and the angelic connection, and all about your sign and how the energy just works. The energy shows up in the roles that we play and the characters that we are in our persona, our identity, and how the moon influences you. We have jam packed each and every sign. And so this year, they're not available for free on YouTube, but they are available for a very small fee on the Academy. But it is much bigger and much more expansive. And yeah, so if you want to purchase those, go to the mteacademy.ca and get signed up to, and you'll know when each and every one is fully available for you. There are several that are out and fully up and running. So, yeah, now I am looking up right here because my phone is on my stand right here. I'm not in my regular space. If you noticed, I'm not in my upstairs office. I'm actually out in the garage that has become my other workspace. I've kind of exploded throughout this whole house. So this is my other workspace that I'm in. This is where I've been recording. I have a computer there and a computer there and a phone there and camera there and a camera there and a camera there. So I'm everywhere. Um, so, hello everyone. And if you want to see me in person this weekend, I have a workshop just on the other side of Bentley, on at Gypsy Road Healing. And I will be doing a tea talk with the beautiful ladies at Gypsy Road Healing about connecting to your spirit guides. And you can still sign up for that one. And that one is on their Facebook page. So if you go to Gypsy Road Healing on Facebook. You can register and sign up to come see me there, or you can come to Alex on Sunday. I'll be in Alex, Alberta at the wellness event there, and I don't do a lot of wellness shows, but I love Alex and I love the community and I love going there and so last year I couldn't attend, but this year I'm going back. So I'll be there. And at 3 p.m., I'll also be doing a 20-minute workshop there as well. But I will be doing some in-person readings as well in Alex, so you can also come and or get yourself on the list early enough that you can come for those. Um, Gonna check that. So Virgo is being worked on right now, MJ. I am working on. I'm almost done my part, but we're working on Virgo. So you are so welcome, Carlene. And yeah, I really just sending you so much love. You have been in my prayers and you're in my, I put you in my little healing circles that I start and I light the candles and I just place you in there and just surrounding you so that, you're surrounded by the angels and the love and ancestors and all the support that you need going through this surgery. You're one tough girl, one tough lady. So I know that you, with between your faith and your strength, I know you're going to be okay. I send you so much love. Um, yeah, Gypsy Road. Sue, Sue, can you share the link, Sue? As if I'm talking to you and you can actually answer back to me. Can you put the link in the comments for uh for the Facebook page for Gypsy Road Healing? If you could do that, Sue, that would be lovely. You should be able to just add it right in the comment section, and then people can get there. Hello, everyone. Hi, Edie, and uh, and Emma. Hello, and is it Do? Hello, and Jenna. Hi, and Cheryl. Hello. Who else did I miss? Onessa. Hello, and Sherry. I think I spoke to you. Yeah, I spoke to Sherry. Um, okay. So, and Christine, hello, 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 welcome. So I had a little window. My YouTube channel has finally hit the over 1K. I finally hit over the 1K mark on YouTube. I've only been like 5 years trying to organically build it and not be buying followers, and that's because I don't want it filled full of bots because bots are everywhere. And so I have finally reached that mark. So I'm like just like that little bit proud of myself. Hello, Sharon. Um, So let me go back to the energy. So the energy's been all like there's just so much that's happening, and times are changing, and we're going through so much. Everyone has something, of course, going on, but there's just so much that's happening right now, and there's so much that becomes like the unexplainable. But life is always full of the unexplainable, and the things that just life just sometimes just don't make sense to us, and we can't understand why. And so there is a lot of that. And a few days ago, I know one of the beautiful girls, she was a girl, one of the beautiful ladies that I had gone to school with. And, I just seen that she has transitioned, that she has passed over into heaven. And I just felt like my heart just like ache. And I haven't seen her in years, but when you spend your life going to school with people and you grow up with people, is they have special a lot of people have special places in your heart, and you just feel it and you notice it. And so there's just been, since before Christmas, like there's just been so many messages and so many posts and so many things about people's lives transitioning and going through big changes. And some are beautiful and wonderful, and then some are deeper. And there's just so much that's happening, right? There's just so much that we're seeing. But the one thing that's consistent, and the one thing that we have all around us, is love and light. It's so hard to sometimes remember how much love and light we have, and that there is love and light. And in times that are filled full of challenges and filled full of change and struggles, is that we kind of forget that, and we get lost in the struggle, and we get lost in the energy, and we get lost in everything that's happening. But we have so much love and light around us, and that love and light is constant, it's consistent, and it never leaves us. And as much as sometimes it feels like we are being abandoned by the light, we're not. The light is always there, and that light is within us. And the light is the one thing that never dies. The light is the one thing that stays, and it always stays on. It doesn't go out. Not like my salt lamp in my room that my when my husband comes home, he turns it off every night when we're going to bed, and I get up and turn it back on. And I'm like, you have to leave the light on when we go to bed at night. And why do I leave the light on when we go to sleep? I leave the salt lights on when I go to sleep, because it is the symbolic of always keeping somewhat of light on when we're in the darkness, so that there's the appearance that there is always light. And so I always leave the light on. I leave the light on as a reminder that there's always light in the dark. And so yeah, we do have a lot of light. Um, Patricia, lots of changes, and you're helping me find the good in it and trust in the process. Ah, thank you, Patricia. Thank you for sharing that. That makes my heart smile. Makes my heart smile. That's my thing that I always tell people, is there's always these moments that make my heart smile, and my heart is always made to smile. And so I had an experience yesterday with someone I had met when I was on the road, and she just made my heart smile. It was just something about her and her purity, and it just made my heart smile. And there's always so much pure love and light in the world as well. Um, and so I just wanted to share a couple cards for the collective energy today. And I know, people would really want me to give personal readings, but I don't have a lot of time tonight, and I'm already preparing to go into another session this evening. So I wanted to share some collective energy and some collective card reading. And I know I shared one on Facebook today, so there is a small reel on Facebook. Those reels stress me out, because I got to get everything in such a short period of time, and I'm like, blah. And I'm like, oh my god, how do I get all that in? But yeah. And so I'm like, here at least I get a little more time. So I'm going to share some cards with you, and share some of the message, and also some of the channeling that I'm also receiving through this, that I'm receiving from the light and the love. And so what I'm bringing through channeling is actually light codes. It's just so it doesn't seem so magical when it's coming from my mouth, because we are so human. But it's coming from the light. And so yeah, and I wanted to share some of these with you. But If you want the extended version, go listen to the 2 this week videos that are on YouTube. So, and please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching the videos, because it helps me to be able to grow the channel, um, and get us out there even more. And so the card that I first pulled is from my deck of the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, and this is the card right here. They're available on my website. Um, so this she actually came out in reverse. This is the way she came out. So she's coming out with some attitude. And so these cards are about moving from shadow to light. The screen is so little on my laptop. Um, and so this is Master Manipulator, and this is Mavis. Now she's in reverse because it is from shadow to truth. So we definitely have a lot of shadow energy that is around. And so the collective consciousness is our material world. It is the existence of all that is being fueled by what happens within us and what happens within the world. And then we have the energy outside. Mavis really represents the influence and the effects of the collective consciousness, and how it has such an impact upon us, and how we are so impacted and influenced by the outside energy. And it's so easy to be influenced. It is so easy to be misguided, or to allow ourselves to be guided down a path with our own emotions, and to turn little things into big things, or to assume stories and make assumptions. And that is what our own ability to be our own master manipulator within ourselves is. Manifestation and manipulation is not the same. And so our ability to be able to manipulate our own stories, or to manipulate the energy or the people that are around us, sometimes is in it could be sulking, it could be pouting, it could be the simplest of things that have become habits to get people to do the what you want them to do. And you're like, I don't pout, I don't sulk. And I'm like, really? How often do you walk around the house mad, but not expressing what you're mad about? How often do you go around the house and you get mad at the people in your house, but you start to go into this fury of cleaning, and like slamming the doors, and like scrubbing aggressively, and it's just like, and everyone else is like, oh, well, we know she's mad about something. And it's like, you're just waiting for someone to speak, waiting for someone to apologize, waiting for someone to tell you what you want to hear. But in the meantime, you're not communicating, and there is no communication. And you're assuming, because we're having a fight in our heads about what we think somebody else is thinking, and what we think their actions were, and what we think they were doing. And yeah, they were doing this and they were doing that. And but we don't ask. But we don't ask. So unless we ask, and unless it comes directly from the horse's mouth, we don't know. And so Mavis, the manipulator, she speaks like this, right? This is the her. And so she can also become the bleeding heart card. She can become we can be lost in the heart of the matter and so many things. And we can wear our heart on our sleeves, and we can be so affected by so much of the outside, or just one wrong word, or one wrong mood, one wrong attempt at trying to be even nice. And like, things can go sideways and like so quickly, right? We can go south so fast. We can be going due north, we could be going on a good track, a right track, and then all of a sudden, one little thing, one little thought can change everything, and we just go poof. And we're just like, oh yeah, and our defenses come back up, and we get lost. And so this is manipulation energy that we speak about. It's not that we are personally manipulators, right? It's not that it's personally intended to be that, but we all have the capability because of our preconditioning. And this is all that I teach in More Than Existing, is about reprogramming our thoughts, reprogramming the patterns, the way that we think, the way that we travel. It is about creating new pathways, new ways of thinking, new ways of living, and recognizing that most times it's the shadow aspect of ourselves that is leading and living our lives. And this is our ability to see. And these two little birdies right here that are flying around, these two little yellow birds, this is the presence of spirit beyond us. And our spirit is always within. We have free will. So, we always have that influence. So she's, and when this card was first created, I used to say, I don't know, she's not the prettiest. And even Amelia, in creating her, she's like, "I don't know about her. I don't know about her." And I'm like, "Well, because we don't know about her, she has to go in the deck. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to create something prettier than it really is, and that's masking it. And sometimes we can't mask our uglies. We can't mask our own attitudes. As much as we try to mask it, it reveals itself, and it reveals itself in different ways. And sometimes the parts of ourselves that have been told that it is not a good quality of us is the parts of us that we need to cultivate more of within ourselves. And so for me, one of the things was always like, "Oh, you're such a troublemaker. You just can't let anything go. You just won't stop." And it's like, just shut your mouth. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not that I can't let things go, is that I need to know an answer, or I need to know a truth. And once I know a truth, I might not like the truth, and I might not even be able to be show up very well in the truth in the beginning, but the truth will set me free. And so the moment I know some sort of truth, then it's the moment that I can start to pivot in a new direction, or that I can to make changes. But unless I know, and so this was a part of myself that, when you start to open up to that, then you begin to really see the changes. Um, and so this is the card that we are opening up with tonight. So um, these readings tonight are all collective. This is the message that we all need to hear. And so we all need to hear this. This is influence and affects us. However, and however you receive it, it's tapping into something within you. So you're receiving something, whatever it is. So no one's hearing the message. We're not all hearing the message the same. We all get the message differently. And so the message is then received differently. Now, there is there is so much green in here. And so this is also the power of healing. And this is about the heart of the matter. And when we get to the heart of the matter and we start to exist in more into and dive into the heart of the matter, is where we can bring about healing, to be able to exist in our true experience, to stay present in our experience, and not to be running, fleeting, avoiding, distracted, keeping ourselves busy, running from what we need to experience, but to stay present. And that is the beauty. That is the absolute beauty of Mavis, is that she stays. And that's what I loved about her, because we couldn't pretty her up anymore. She had to stay. And so she stays. And it's he who stays and walks through the journey, no matter how difficult, no matter how challenging, recognizes some of the truest and best qualities, because who we are at the end of all of those difficult choices and decisions, that we don't manipulate ourselves into believing a narrative or staying in something too long, but we walk through that fire. We walk through that. We don't put our head in the clouds. We don't hide. We don't put our focus in everything else. We put our focus in the present version of ourselves, and we stay with that. And that is what guides us to move ourselves through from one experience to the next. And that's very much coming up in all of the energy that we have happening right now. Okay, let's move on. I don't know where my cat is. I haven't seen her in a while. I don't know where Phoebe is. I have something else really exciting happening. I'm going to Newfoundland to see my grandbabies. Going to Newfoundland to see my daughter and my son-in-law and my mother, my father, my mother, my stepmother, my my sister, my sister-in-law, and my brother, my two nephews. I get to see everyone this trip. So I'm going to Newfoundland in a couple weeks, and I'm going to be down there for two weeks. And so we may or we may not. We haven't decided yet. I may do a little workshop or something only in Buckins. I don't know yet. Um, and so the other card that came out is, so this is such a contrast in cards. This is such a contrast, but yet has the same power, has the same love, has the same energy. So this is the she is, the everyday miracle. Everyday miracles take action, or everyday miracles happen when we take action towards our own personal changes and our own personal well being and facing the hard things and allowing things to come to the light and come to the surface that need to be healed. If it can't come to the surface and it can't be exposed and it can't be seen, it can't be healed. It needs to be seen. And when we get to the heart of the matter, we recognize that at the heart of the matter is this one thing called love. And it is love that it is love that moves us, is love that has us, that takes us to, sometimes being mad, being angry. But when we can get to the truth of what real, true, unconditioned love is about, is that ability to return home to ourselves, to come back here to our center and to choose to live and make choices from our center and not from our fear and not from our assumptions and not from our judgment and not from our criticism, but from our shame or from our guilt, but from our divine expression, from our higher self. When we can decide to choose from here, it usually means getting back to a more regulated self and responding from there. And when we respond from there, we often make the right choices and we go the right direction. And it's the ones that bring about inner peace. It might not be outer peace, but it is inner peace. And when we can come into that place of inner peace and inner knowing, then we know that we're beginning to really truly listen to that inner voice. And that inner voice, that inner truth that guides us, that directs us, that speaks to us, and not the stories of the mind, not the chaos, but this. And so this heart is also influenced by this high heart and that which connects us and channels us in to the seat, into the pineal gland, into the third eye, into the God eye, whatever you want to call it, but into that place of where we travel inward to be able to see things in the light and not be trying to struggle to see things through the dark. Is that there's a light, there is inspiration, there is a divine expression. There is so many more places for us to access our exit plan, our direction, our projection, our actions from, more than from our emotional self, and more than from, say, our pain body or our emotional body. If we can really truly tap into learning that you have more than one area and more than one way to access the way that you react and respond, is that you're not reacting and responding from that old hurt emotions or from the past experiences or from the programming, because we have been so filled with opinions, with uh, with trends, with division, divide, with values and beliefs that never started as ours, but were given to us, that we inherited. And all of these are inherited, passed down, or new coming in opinions, thoughts, and views that someone else creates from their hurt, their story, that continues on, that then becomes all of ours. And it's all been programmed into us, that comes into the subconscious and into the unconscious, and then we unconsciously respond because we're not taking the time to really contemplate where we're accessing this information from, and what we're looking at and what we're seeing and what we're responding to, which is all of how kind of that whole social media thing kind of goes down, but that's not the only place. It's happening in our circles. And if we only exist in the comforts of agreeability, then, then we're being given the rite of passage to always be right, to always have it right, to that, there's nothing going to question me, there's nothing going to challenge me. I'm right, I'm right. And it's like we get our own way. But when we come back in here, we're challenged to look at things. We're challenged to become the observer, to look at things from a different light and in a different perspective. And when we work with this higher self and we work with out and beyond us and we see beyond, is that doesn't just come in and just rock you and say, oh, muffin, everything can go your way and you get to be all right, and yeah, they're all wrong and you're all right. It says no, no, that's not how it goes. And so we don't get a long dialogue of fillers. We get an exact answer response of, what are you going to do, and what do you want to see, and how do you want to see it, and it kind of calls us up and out. And so it is where emotional and spiritual maturity happens, and that's a huge part of everything that I teach. It's in everything. And people say, well, sometimes you see the bleeding of more than existing into other courses, and I'm like, well, of course you do. Of course you do. You should. It is a continual, and everything that we have is so intertwined with teachings and messages and things that have been given, and it all stems back to who we become. It's not about our titles or our roles or getting our hero biscuit. It's about us becoming the best version of ourselves. And sometimes we have to find these other areas within ourselves that we access our truth from, and we access a higher knowing from, and there's so much wisdom for us to gain. And so in my message today, I'm like, the best place to go sit if you want to gain wisdom is to go sit with a tree in the middle of the forest, in the middle of nowhere. And when you get there, you're going to find out that you have just taken in to the forest, in the quiet, the enemy, the critic, the judgment, the saboteur. You have taken in the manipulator. You have taken all those in, and then you realize, oh, they all live inside of me. And they're all in me. And all of these thoughts, and that all of my self-esteem has all been built on thoughts. And are they really my thoughts? Are these really my beliefs? Is this really what I believe? Right. And so it's the ability to be able to learn to use discernment into where all of this is coming from, and to be able to evolve beyond that. And this is huge as we're beginning to come through. It's like we started off with this sense of false momentum of, yes, the year is here and we have to rush out into 2025, and yeah, it's going to be the best year. At 2024 is over, and now it's going to be this. And it's like, no, life is going to happen, and that we don't have to get a jump start on anything. It's about allowing ourselves to slowly adapt, slowly adjust, because what else has happened was we've had such a big planetary shifts. So it's adaptability. It's allowing ourselves to adapt and adjust and move through. It's like getting in freaking cold water when you're getting in the river and you want to get in, you want to swim in it, but you've got to take your time. But then there's a period where you just got to plunge, right? Like you tippy toe in, but then you got to plunge. And so there is coming up, as we move into February, a kind of plunge. We're coming into the plunge time of where we have to kind of take that deep dive in and dive farther in. So this year is filled with a lot of the hero's journey, about that deep dive into finding self, self discovery, self awareness. But it is a lot about the intuitive side and the spirit and our connection to spirit. And because we're into this age of Aquarius energy that is really beginning to influence us in a lot of ways. And so the year is going to it's really fast paced, a lot of things changing very quickly, including your mind, including, decisions and bandwagons and soapboxes, and people getting on soapboxes and people getting on bandwagons. And oh God, it can be so exhausting. So taking the break, sit back, and to be able to just be able to sit back and just take that deep breath and breathe in is an important part. But if you want to know more about all of those messages, go to those two YouTube channels. and you'll get some more information there. And if you want to know more about your year, go sign up so that you know when your zodiac sign is becoming available through the academy. And also, you can go listen to the yearly prediction ones that I have put out. Those are also available. I have those now available on it's just one, and that's also available on YouTube as well. Do my spirits guides have any message for me about my family? So today, Wendy, everything was the collective messages, and so this is the guides coming into the spirit guides coming, my guides coming in to translate or to give you messages that are translating through me to all of you for what there is for all of us. And so all of this energy is speaking to us. All of this energy is communicating to us. And so yeah, so we have a smorgasbord of things that are happening. And and so the biggest thing is that of all things that we never run out of, that there is no lack of, there is no lack of love, there is no lack of light, there is no lack of the availability of of what is available that comes from the divine. And so there is no lack of fear, there is no lack of all of those things either. That all exist. And we can manifest and create as much of that as we want. We can build stories around it. We can exist in all of that energy. And so all of that is available as well. But which one do you choose? Because if both is invisible energy and both gives us the opportunity to create. So if fear and faith are both invisible, why is it so easy to exist in fear? And you've heard me probably say this 1,000 times if you've been around my work. Why is it so easy to go to fear before it is to go to faith? If love and hate exist and both require action, why is it so easy to show and reveal and build momentum and create such powerful messages and videos and stuff on hate that gets so much attention, but videos that are filled with love and light are the ones that have to fight harder to get through? Why is that? Right? Because this feeds the shadow and this feeds the hungry ghost. Whereas all of these love and light videos and all of this love and light and all of the pretty beautiful things that we try to share in the world is is not not feeding the shadow. It is feeding the light. And when we're so used to traveling the pathway with our fear and with our judgment and with our emotions that lead us down to the path of the rabbit holes, is that we tend to begin to chase that, and we believe that to be true. And I always go back to, it's like Stockholm syndrome. It's like Stockholm syndrome. It's that ability to keep returning to something that we know is not good for us, that we know doesn't serve us, but yet we go back to it because it's the comfort that we know, right? It's the devil that we know. So we go back to it, and it's harder to stay in the light, and it's harder to stay with the messages, and it's like, well, this is more fun, and this is more interesting, this is more exciting. No, it's constantly feeding and fueling the fix that we seek. And so we're always seeking those fixes, and we stop seeking those fixes to keep feeding the little inner monsters and the hungry ghosts within us and the hurts and the pains, and we start to accept and receive the light and allow healing to begin. Then we start wanting to receive more healing and more love and more light. And it is all about a shift. And when it finally clicks and we turn off the switch that keeps us traveling down the same old path and falling down the same old hole, we don't just even try to go around the hole or try to avoid the hole. You just go a whole new direction, and you just follow a new path and a new direction, because I don't have to keep looking around to wonder if I'm safe or if something is going to happen, or I don't have to keep trying to fuel and be fueled up on temporary satisfactions. I'm feeling the long term effects of love and light. And when we begin to feel the long term effects of love and light, we begin to also then stop allowing other people to be the mirror reflection that we use as a way to say to ourselves, like, oh, well, that person, they got it all and I don't. Like, we stop looking into find things to be mad about, to be sad about, to be pissed off about, and we start to seek more things to be happy about and more things to be thankful about. And the greatest thing that we can have is our ability to be gracious and to be grateful. And what am I grateful for? And so, if there's one thing that you should probably consider creating this year, is a gratitude list, and start with a gratitude list. And on that gratitude list, start creating like people who have helped you along the way, or people who've been there for you and supported you. And not just look at the people who didn't support you, but the people who were there, and start to really create that gratitude list. If I could go back if I could walk back in time and I could give back, if I could revisit anyone, it wouldn't be the people that I want to walk up to and go, "Nah, nah, nah, I told you," because there's nothing to prove to them. There's not about validation. I would walk up to the people who did things for me, that I'd be able to walk back and say, "Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that support. Thank you for that word. Thank you for that encouragement. Thank you for that message. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the things that you did. Thank you for showing me that I mattered. Thank you for those things." I would trail back to all of those places, because that's where gratitude begins. And when we can start to build up that gratitude list and being grateful, we start to create the space for inner peace. And when we start to create the space for inner peace, is that we begin to make peace. And when we begin to make peace within ourselves, we start to raise the vibration on how we want to see peace within our world. And peace in our world is not about us all thinking alike, living alike. It's not about us being all put into a box and having to conform and be a certain way, because put us all in a box and we'll eventually all fight again. It's about us being allowed and being given permission to fully embody being ourselves, but also knowing the power of of compassion and humanity, and showing compassion and kindness, and traveling more towards love and light and less towards fear, hate, and anger. And that's the message that I actually have for you today. So I'm going to end it out with one last card, of course. So one thing I always notice, and I'll say this over and over, is when it comes into collective messages and not about a one message, is that you'll see that a lot of times people don't stay around. Um, and I always say it's you never know what you're going to receive from staying for the cards that are the messages for everyone, because there is so much there's so much of the light language and the light codes that is coming through these messages that are entering into your heart. And whether you know it or not, is that you're receiving the healing. So by being here, you're in like a big gigantic healing circle. And all of this healing energy, as I speak, and as the presence is here, as the divine is present in this experience with us, is that everyone is receiving the love and light into their hearts and healing in through your body. You never know what little aha or what little breakthrough or what little blockage within yourself that may just be receiving everything that it needs to begin a healing journey for you, or just resolving something that hasn't been resolved in years, or opening up something within you that gives you the opportunity to see you, to see your light, to see what you bring to the table. And it's just so worth staying. And, that's who I am, and that's what I do. And that's what I've been my whole life. And so there was a time that I just couldn't see that. And I just thought, the more that I give, and I would just give everyone something. And and what I heard in my message was literally, no, just stay, just show up and just stay. It's just bring the light into the center, and then just stay in the light and stay in the love. And as long as you stay in the light and the love, the healing is happening, and everyone is receiving something, and everyone is receiving what they need. And this even spreads out through YouTube, and it spreads out through Facebook. It spreads out, and it just keeps expanding and going. And so The last card that we pull is the mystical dreamer, and it's Marlena, and she is the mystical dreamer. And yes, we have the magic of the mermaid, and yes, we have the magical, and this is our deep dive down. And we sometimes we got to dive deep within to really bring up the truest and most authentic version of ourselves. But the thing that makes the difference in our lives is this fine line, and we always exist in this fine line. We're always, the fine line is the difference in how we're going to show up. It's the fine line at the gate and the door of our choices. And the gate and the door of our choices is whether we continue to keep repeating and going back into the old habits and the old patterns, or do we rise up? Do we go into allowing ourselves to go into that mystical place, allowing ourselves to move into the possibility that if I just go a new way, if I just change my thought today, if I just stop allowing that thought to own me, if I just stop telling myself that I'm not enough, if I just stop, it doesn't mean it's going to magically happen overnight, but before I know it, something may change. And so there is something that just reminds us constantly that there is this gate, and at this door of our choices that we meet is we have the choice to which direction we're going to go. Are we going to fall into the temptation of all that having to travel through of, oh, let's just go try this one more time. Let's go try this again, or travel into the unknown of a possibility that something may work out a whole lot different for us. Something may change for us. And so this message is about allowing space for your mystical, magical self to start to communicate, to connect, but also for you to come back to this place, this center space, and this center place. And if just for today, just for tomorrow, if you just simply just take the breath before you respond and just ask yourself, what would spirit have me do? In this moment, in this experience, what would spirit have me think? What would spirit have me do? And ask yourself that before you react and you respond. You may start to see some big changes happening within your life, all around you, for you, within. And yeah, because spirit is with us always. And learning to be able to communicate to spirit is also about learning to communicate to yours. So whenever anyone comes into like my mediumship programs, sometimes you don't realize you're coming into also for the healing, because once you start doing any type of mediumship work is sitting in the power, and if you don't not sitting in the power and you're only just out trying to grab on to every little thing for everyone else, is that what you're actually learning in the power is you're learning to really truly listen to your own spirit and listen to your own guides, and they're there for you and they're helping you. And being able to listen to that means I can get the message, and they're going to, eventually, excuse me, it will just stop talking to me because it'll sit back and wait for me. But if I start engaging in the conversation, I'm going to go through a healing process, and I'm going to change, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to evolve, and I'm not going to be the same person I was. So, I'm not the same person I was 15 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm not the same person I was a year ago because the time that I spend with the spirit and with the divine is always bringing us through this ascension within ourselves. We're always climbing and rising and ascending to new levels and holding ourselves to those higher levels. And it's not an expectation, it's just a simple knowing that when light and love begin to be the guiding forces within your life moves and your life changes. You still experience all the other things. So I just want to quickly go back here. I fall asleep every night doing my gratitude list. Yay! Right? Yes. And that's such a good time to do it. When I listen to you, I always feel like you're talking to me. I am. I am. I'm not leaving. Yeah, it is. They're personally. It's like they're honing in on everyone. There is a message. There there is a message every time, and every connection to be made when cards are drawn for specific people, and that aren't that aren't you, right? Thanks for your generosity. Ah, thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. Um, and Carlene, thank you. I am grateful and thankful to you and the girls in your school. You have put my mind at ease. I have been so worked up all day. I could not concentrate on anything. I could not speak to anyone. Now I will be going into the school before I rest tonight and doing a meditation. Love and light to you all. Good night. All Carlene, and I am telling you, we are all sending you so much love and light as you go in for your surgery tomorrow. And Carlene has a big, big surgery that she's undergoing tomorrow. And I'm telling you that, you know, you will have all of the love, support, the guides, the angels. God will be with you through it all. Whatever God is for you, right? Creator, source, whatever that is for you. I would say sun, moon, rock stars, it don't matter. It is just something that we just know that is there with us and flowing through us. Um, and also Carlene, you can go also do there is a sleep meditation that's on the website, on the Facebook page, in the playlist. You can do that one as well if you want to do that sleep meditation for tonight so that you can actually get some rest. We send you so, so much love. Um, and yeah, and that's what I have for you all. So thank you for being here. I do have to leave. I do have a one more client to work with this evening. So I will see you all again soon. Go listen to all the YouTube channels if you so choose. Also, there's a little short little reel as well. And go check out the Academy. Go to mtacademy.ca and go check out some of the amazing work that Lisa and I have put together that's in there. And if you want to take part in my 6-month mentorship mediumship program that's coming up. You can get all the information about that. I am beginning that in February. And if you've done my mediumship classes before, this is going to be done a lot. This is going to be done differently as well. And so, yeah, if you're interested, go check it all out. And if you want to purchase anything else, go to my website, go to corriethorne.com, and you can go check out all of the work. I send you so much love, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye bye.